Well, hello everyone. In today's video, we have to talk about electric vehicle tax credits, Teslas, the whole shebang. Like, is this whole EV tax credit system really as beneficial as what it looks like on the surface? And is it going to, quote unquote, save Tesla? Like, is it going to help Tesla sell even more vehicles? And yeah. Before we get into the video though, as always, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. And then if you want to see more content just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. Let's get into it. So let's dive into the stats with this EV tax credit, and I'm actually going to explain why it's not as good as it seems on the surface. So first off, there are income limits to qualifying for this EV tax credit with new cars and with used cars. First off, with new cars, if you're married filing jointly, you can't make more than $300,000 per year with your adjusted gross income. For heads of household, it can't be more than $225,000 per year, and then with all other filers, it can't be more than $150,000 per year. So if you're a high income earning individual, you won't get the tax credit. Now, the vehicles must have most of their battery, resources sourced here within the US via either recycling or mining, or with a trading partner with the US. It can't be any, countries that are basically blacklisted where the materials come from. And then also the battery itself has to mostly be manufactured here in the US. It's basically trying to incentivize automakers to bring more stuff here to the US and obviously, purchase more resources here from the US or recycled resources, whatever it may be. Now, the vehicle must have a battery capacity of at least 7 kilowatt hours, which honestly isn't all that difficult. Every single electric car is going to qualify for that, and then most plug-in hybrids will also qualify for that as well. Some of the regular hybrids obviously won't because they have pretty tiny batteries, but again, most of the plug-in stuff will definitely qualify. It cannot have a gross vehicle weight rating of over 14,000 pounds, so it's got to be a light duty vehicle. And you have to buy, for this tax credit, you have to buy the vehicle brand new, and the seller has to report it. Now, with this tax credit, it cannot be applied as a discount to the car. Now, in 2024, that will be able to happen because there's going to be a revision with this, but right now, it's something that you're going to basically put on your taxes at the end of the year. Now, when it comes to the pricing limits with this, for brand new vehicles, if it's a van, sport utility vehicle, or pickup truck, it cannot be more than $80,000. And then if it's any other type of vehicles like a car, something like that, it cannot be more than $55,000 in terms of the pricing. Now, when it comes to used vehicles, there is a price ceiling at $25,000, and the credit that you get is significantly smaller than brand new vehicles. Brand new vehicles, you can get a credit of up to $7,500. Whereas with used vehicles, the max credit you can get is $4,000, and what they actually say is the credit will be 30% of the vehicle's value or $4,000 max, whichever is actually less. So they're trying to give you the least amount of credit possible on a used vehicle, and again, the vehicle can't be more than $25,000. Good luck finding, well, I mean, there are some, EVs and everything that are under $25,000 at this point, but we have to wait for the car market to come down a little bit more for there to be more options there. Now with this, the income limits are actually lower. So joint returns, no more than $150,000, head of household, no more than $112,500, and then individuals or others, statuses, no more than $75,000. And so they obviously bring all the income brackets down with that. So on the surface, this whole tax credit system actually looks to be pretty positive because this allows large electric automakers like Tesla to give their customers tax credits again because, well, they haven't had that for quite some time. And obviously it's attempting to bring more manufacturing and, mining and everything here to the US, or at least, trying to push automakers to do that stuff where they source more stuff here from the US and then obviously manufacture more stuff here in the US as well. So again, on the surface, it looks pretty positive. And again, giving, consumers a discount off of, new vehicles and used vehicles is also pretty positive. But here's the deal. There's a few things that people aren't talking about, or they're not talking about enough. First off, this is a non-refundable tax credit. So what that means is that when you put this tax credit in, when you file for taxes, you're not going to get a refund based on this amount. It basically is just going to lower your overall tax burden. So let's say that you made $100,000 and you bought an EV, so you're getting this tax credit. Well, the tax credit basically means that instead of making $100,000, you're only going to be paying taxes if you made $92,500. And so it's not like you're going to be getting $7,500 put into your pocket. And that's another thing to mention. This is a tax credit. It's not a, rebate or incentive being given to you. This is something that automakers will try to sell you, and this is something that, the EV people will also try to sell you. But again, being a tax credit means that this is just lowering your overall, taxable income. And so let's say that you get taxed at a rate of 33%, just to make math easy for me, because I'm not the smartest person on the planet. Well, with that $7,500 tax credit, that means that instead of, paying that 33% rate on $7,500, which would be $2,500, you instead aren't going to pay any taxes on that $7,500. So in effect, it's not actually saving you $7,500. It's only saving you $2,500 in my example. And so what that really means is that you are saving money, but it's not nearly as much as what it looks like on the surface. And again, that's if you qualify for the full $7,500. If you don't qualify for the full $7,500, then the amount that you're saving is even less. And so when people go in and say that, oh, I'm buying a brand new Tesla and getting $7,500 off, or whatever car it may be, you're not really getting $7,500 off. Instead, you're getting closer. Again, if you get taxed at 33%, you're getting $2,500 off. And if you don't get taxed at that rate, let's say that your actual effective tax rate is closer to 10 or 15%, then you're only saving like $700. For if it's 10%, you're saving $750. I know that was kind of like a roundabout way to explain it, but that's just something that not enough people talk about when it comes to these tax credits. And so I feel like a lot of consumers end up looking at the tax credit in the wrong perspective, as if, again, they're saving the entire amount of the money that is offered, but that's not reality. So is this going to save Tesla and other EV automakers from complete destruction? And well, first off, Tesla's doing completely fine, so it's not like they're going anywhere anytime soon, but I have to make statements like that in videos like this because I just like trolling Tesla people too much. They get so upset. It's hilarious. If you insult any other car company, people are like, and they don't really care. You insult Tesla at all, and Tesla people just go off the rails. And I think it's because with a Tesla, you don't just buy a Tesla. You buy the Tesla, and then you buy Tesla stock, and then you buy a vanity plate, and you are so invested in the Elon Musk Kool-Aid that if anyone insults the brand and lowers the stock that you just purchased, it's the end of the world. And so I think there's definitely some truth to that. But anyways, this EV tax credit is not going to help Tesla or other EV automakers or just regular traditional automakers sell more EVs, because the amount of money that it's saving people is just not enough. And I understand that some people will make the argument that, well, you have this tax credit and EVs on top of that are cheaper to run. But here's the deal. EVs are just too damn expensive. Seriously, the average brand new car in today's market is close to $50,000. And if you look at the average EV, well, most of them that people are actually, able to buy off of dealer lots or able to buy from Tesla, for example, are over $50,000. Yes, the Model 3 technically starts at $47-something thousand. But if you want any options, and you're probably going to want options with the Model 3, you're going to be closer to the mid-50s, if not over $60,000 on the car. And so is a tax credit that's going to save you, again, depending on where your tax basis ends up, anywhere from maybe a few $100 to maybe a couple $1,000s, maybe a little bit more than that. Is that really going to incentivize you to purchase that $60,000 car? No, it's such a small percentage of the vehicle itself. And again, in terms of getting more people to adopt EVs, they just have to be cheaper. The example that I love to give is the Kia Niro EV, and just the Kia Niro in general. So with the Kia Niro, they have three powertrains. You've got the standard hybrid, which is around $30,000. You have the plug-in hybrid, which is closer to $40,000. And then you have the EV Niro, which is almost $50,000. Now, I don't care how much EV Kool-Aid you have drunk. There is no way that $50,000 Niro is going to be less expensive to own than the hybrid Niro that's $30,000 at the end of the day. $20,000 is a boatload of money, even after the little tax credit that you get that saves you a few $100 or maybe a couple $1,000 in your taxes, is still not enough to offset the price difference between a regular hybrid car or frankly just an internal combustion engine car, even after paying for gas and all the extra maintenance you have to pay. Seriously, it's just too soon. And if automakers and if the government really want more people to purchase EVs, well, first off, the government would have to release a tax credit that is far larger so that it actually puts a dent into the actual price of EVs. And automakers just need to lower prices so that EVs are more affordable. You can't have a $20,000 price premium on a vehicle that drives pretty much the same and expect people to want to pay it, right? So anyways, that'll sum things up. Let me know what you guys think about this topic. And yeah, I'll see ya.